Coming to paperback and e-readers, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side. The man who rules the world takes on an agent from the CIA from the Black Boule in this action-packed all-new John Haynes series adventure. Pre-order your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side at Amazon.com and other online booksellers. Sometimes I draw inspiration for characters I create in the SJS Direct universe from real people, and sometimes I draw inspiration for those characters I create in the SJS Direct universe from comic books or comic book characters. Now, for my latest SJS Direct book, John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side, I drew inspiration from both real-world people and the world of comics, and the foundation for the new antagonist that John Haynes takes on Monica Thorne in John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side actually comes from a real person in actress Halle Berry, and it also comes from a very obscure DC Comics anti-heroine known as the Black Thorn. Now, as I was going out here writing books for the SJS Direct 2024 catalog, I was reading a lot of old vigilante comics online, and as I was reading those old vigilante comics online, I came across this character in the last part of the run of Vigilante, this character known as the Black Thorn, who was introduced into Adrian Chase's life as a love interest and a sort of femme fatale similar to Batman's Catwoman. And this character of Black Thorn was a character who I found to be quite intriguing. And I thought that this character, as I was reading about her story, about being a rich debutante who was trained to be a CIA agent for kicks and thrills, wound up leaving the agency, and after she wound up leaving the agency, she decided to go out here and become a street crime hero similar to Adrian Chase, and eventually Black Thorn and Adrian Chase eventually became lovers until that series wound up ending in a tragic fashion in its 50th issue around 1988 or so. Now, after Adrian Chase wound up taking his life in that final issue, the Black Thorn character grieved Adrian Chase's passing, and as she grieved Adrian Chase's passing, we really got to see her in other books like Checkmate and Suicide Squad. But the sad part is that after those issues of Checkmate and Suicide Squad, we didn't see much of the Black Thorn, and when I read her story, I thought this character had a lot of potential, but sadly, DC Comics didn't see that potential, even though one of the creators, Paul Cooperberg, did create a proposal to further build on the character. Nothing was really done because the character was so obscure, and a book about a former CIA agent with no powers would possibly sell even worse than Vigilante in the 1980s. So, sadly, this character, who was very interesting, never really got to actualize her potential as a character. But as even though I can't write DC Comics, I saw the potential in the Blackthorn character, and as I saw the potential in the Blackthorn character, I started thinking about Halle Berry's career after she won the Oscar, and I started to think about a role that she played in the James Bond movie Die Another Day as Agent Jinx, and I thought about what was supposed to happen with Halle Berry as related to the Jinx character. Now, this Jinx character in Die Another Day was a character who was brought in basically to be a foil to Pierce Brosnan's James Bond, and because Halle Berry at the time was at the peak of her popularity, there was a plan to go out and make a movie revolving around Halle Berry's Jinx character. Unfortunately, when the Catwoman movie wound up flopping at the box office, nothing was ever said once again about the Jinx movie, and that movie never got off of the proposal as related to a green light. And when I looked at the Black Thorn character, I saw a very interesting character who I thought would be a good fit for Halle Berry. And that's where I decided to create my own version of the Black Thorn in my own way. And I decided to go out and fuse some black culture with that whole concept of Black Thorn. Again, here was a rich debutante who basically again joined the CIA, but my version would be very different. My version of this character would be named Monica Thorne and would come from a very wealthy black family that has roots all throughout history with the Black Boule. And that would be the backstory of the character, that she would be someone from the Black Boule who went to top private schools, who had an Ivy League education, and came from a culture of the Boule, a rich group of black families who basically act as a buffer to keep the black masses from actualizing their potential. And with her being a part of the CIA, I thought this would make for a very intriguing character, and that's where I got the idea of making this character Monica Thorne. I based the character on Halle Berry being this extremely attractive woman who was from the Black Boule and trained with the CIA and was looking to be a guardian over the black community, to maintain the policies of unwritten social rules over the black community. And these people would have an issue with John Haynes as related to actions he had been taking. So that's where I got the idea for the character of Monica Thorne, again, to be a thorn in John Haynes' side, which is a reference to the thorn that was put in the side of Apostle Paul as he was doing God's work on earth. God did not want Apostle Paul to get too puffed up and arrogant regarding himself, so he put a thorn in his flesh, and this was going to be a metaphorical thorn in John Haynes' side. And that's where I got the ideas for this whole story of a thorn in my side. And the thorn in my side, again, I wanted to create a villain who would be again somebody interesting that would show you how the Black Boule undermines the black community and build on previous stories like John Haynes' Godbreaker, where John Haynes took on Thor, and stories like John Haynes' Illuminati, where the head of the Illuminati felt threatened by John Haynes. And I wanted to show how there are those in the black elite who feel threatened by black people, who basically look to, again, utilize their power. So there's a lot going on here, but the whole foundation of those inspirations for the story of John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side, came from the whole idea of, again, revamping this Black Thorn character, this obscure DC Comics character, into somebody who would be, again, this CIA agent like Halle Berry and like in Jinx and Die Another Day. And I basically thought, Halle Berry would be a good fit to play a character like Black Thorn in her prime. It would have been a great story had they, again, wrote something like that. It would have been something quite interesting to see, again, the spoiled rich chick looking for thrills. I mean, that's what made the Black Thorn a very interesting character, and I wanted to, again, make it a good fit overall, because, again, when it came to Halle Berry, a lot of times people, they don't really write her a good character, and again, don't really write good stories for black actresses, and a lot of times the best roles are the bad guy of the story. And when I, did the Monica Thorne character, I wanted her to be this character similar to the Black Thorn. Again, a character who you could, again, start out as a heel and then just move her in any different direction if you wanted to, similar to what they did with Black Thorn. And I saw, again, a lot of potential with that character, and it was a lot of fun writing this character, and it was a lot of fun writing this story, John Haynes, A Thorn in My Side, and I'm hoping that you go out here and enjoy this story when it comes out on March 21st. to kick off the SJS Direct 2025 catalog. And you can pre-order your copy of John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side in digital format on Amazon's Kindle, or you can go to many of the online booksellers at Draft to Digital, such as the iBookstore and all of these other stores, or you can pick up a copy on Google Play. And I'm hoping you pick up John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side and come back for the other books in the John Haynes series and other books in the SJS Direct universe, such as the ISIS series, the Steam series, and books like the Goth Spinsterella trilogy, the Black Sorority novel, The Thetas, and my vampire novel, Eternal Night, because I try to infuse a lot of black culture in my fantasy fiction, and I want to give you a richer picture of black life in all of those stories in the SJS Direct universe, and I'm hoping that you will go out here and pick up some of those books and check out action and fantasy from a black perspective. And if you want to help me to be able to stay on the air making videos, or go out here and be able to still be able to pay great artists to put covers on books like John Haynes' A Thorn in My Side, or help me support other great independent creators as related to their crowdfunding projects, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, ISIS, Dark Incubus. The goddess next door gets enthralled in a romantic entanglement with an evil incubus in this all-new ISIS series adventure. Get your copy of ISIS, Dark Incubus in paperback and e-readers today. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.